Welcome to Slash Bash, where today I am bringing you another Entitled Parents Reddit video. In our first story, an entitled parent refuses to accept I'm blind. You know, it's actually sad how often this sort of thing happens. I mean, being a blind girl, instances of ignorant people are daily, but entitled parents represent a certain level of an infamy for me. But this one just happened, so hey, why not make myself feel better by making you guys read about my misfortune? The people involved? Me, an entitled mother, and 2 security guards. So since my parents are more at risk from COVID, I've been going shopping alone more and more often during the pandemic. Yesterday was one of these cases. Grocery shopping is a more involved process for a blind person. I have to ask a staff member to assist me. I also have my guide dog, Gumbo, inside with me. The dog in itself increases the instances of bad experiences. Now, during my shopping, I always get a wide array of reactions to my dog, but one in particular occurred toward the end of my shopping. I heard loud footsteps followed by the loud screech of, "That doggy is so cute, can I pet him?" It was obviously a small child by the voice. So I prepared myself before responding that no, my dog cannot be touched due to him being a guide dog. Surprisingly, the child didn't act entitled, but seemed surprised and excited about a dog having a job. She, I believe it was a she, asked me a few questions and then left. I thought nothing of it and continued with my shopping. After I finished, I decided to stop by the food court on the way out for some lunch. So I went and made my way across the supermarket. I ordered my food, sat down, and waited. But by some cosmic gracing of bad luck, that is the exact moment that this child and their parent decided to walk close by. I heard the child tell the mother about what I told her, about how my dog is working as a guide dog, that I'm blind and use him to get around, etc. The mother isn't really saying anything, but I can sort of tell by her tone and the few words she does say that she is seeing some issue with what her daughter was told. I decided to listen in, and after the daughter finished her babbling, the mother came up to me. Now, as I said, people coming up to me is super common. I thought nothing much of it. However, the first words out of her mouth were, "Why did you tell my daughter you're blind?" Her tone was very harsh, very accusatory. I immediately knew what was coming, but as usual, I put on a smile. "Because I am blind. Your daughter asked me about my dog, so I explained what guide dogs are and why we use them." "You're not blind." "Excuse me?" The straight shooting words caught me off guard. "You're not blind. My cousin is blind, so I know what a blind person is like. You shouldn't lie about that. I think you should let my daughter pet the dog. She likes dogs. It's pretty bitchy to refuse a child something like that." My hackles rose slightly. "Well, ma'am, not all blind people are the same. Just because you know a single blind person doesn't mean you know how all blind people are. And, as I already explained, your daughter can't pet my dog due to him being a seeing eye dog." "Why are you lying? Your eyes are completely fine. You're using a phone. Don't say you're blind if you're gonna show you're not at the same time. Why would you lie about this?" "Excuse me, but I am not lying. My eyes looking fine have nothing to do with anything. Not every blind person's eyes look the same. Look, you're stressing me out. I'd rather you just left me alone." "My daughter wants to pet your dog. She's been well behaved all through today, and it's more than reasonable to let her pet the dog." I said no. I don't know why you can't just accept my answer. "You said no using that BS excuse. You're honestly starting to piss me off. I don't know who you think you are, but I happen to work for..." I can't actually remember where she said. "And if you don't stop it, I'll get security to throw you and your fake guide dog out of here." Now I'm sure you get the picture. This went on for a good 5 minutes of her getting progressively more and more angry at the fact I wouldn't let her daughter pet my dog. The daughter was actually silent throughout the whole thing. I don't really think she even cared that much. The entitled mother, however, was another story. Eventually, the entitled mother screamed out, "That's it! I'm going to get security. If you're smart, you'll be gone by the time I get back or you'll regret it." I snorted at her small fit and heard her huff and storm off. By that time, my food had arrived, so I started eating. I didn't really believe she'd go to get security, but with entitled parents, you cannot be sure. About, 5 minutes or so went by of me eating. I was enjoying my fries, browsing Reddit in bliss, but of course, she returned. I heard her stupid stomping from like 15 feet away, and she was raging on to an apparent security guard. "Look, that's her. You see, she's sitting there with a dog. She says it's a guide dog, but she's not blind. You have to kick her out. Dogs aren't allowed." I sighed and removed an earbud to prepare for the incoming ordeal. A deep male voice sounded from a few feet in front of me. He sounded rather harassed. Miss, is this a service dog?" "Yes, it is. He is a seeing eye dog. I am allowed to take him in here. I have a copy of the appropriate law if you need it." No, that's fine. I know service dogs are allowed. This woman is saying you aren't disabled, though. Is that true?" "No. She's just angry that I didn't let her daughter touch my dog. I honestly don't know why she cares." "Because you're a liar. I told you I have a blind cousin. Don't try to tell me I don't understand blind people, because I do." I directed my attention to the security guard. I've tried to explain to her that one blind person doesn't represent all blind people, but she doesn't seem to get it. Could you please ask her to leave me alone? I just want to eat in peace." "So you are blind?" "Yes, I am." "Can you prove it in any way?" No. How could I do that? And why?" "Well, it's just that she is saying one thing and you're saying another thing. I don't know exactly who to believe. But yeah, I see how proving you're blind doesn't really work." He spoke to the woman. "Why is it exactly that you think she's lying?" "Are you serious? Are you thick? Look at her eyes. They're not white or cloudy like blind people's are. She's literally looking at a flipping phone." The security guard then spoke to me. What's your response?" I sighed. Maybe her cousin has those eye symptoms, but not every blind person does. Those symptoms are caused by diseases like cataracts, which I don't have. As for the phone, devices have been accessible to the blind for years. I find it surprising she has a cousin who is blind and doesn't know that. "No, I saw you look at the phone. You were looking at it." "I have basic light perception. I can detect light. I direct my eyes to it out of habit because that's where my hands are occupied. Look, it's not my job to educate you on what you don't know." I then spoke to the guard. Please just ask her to leave me alone. I don't care if she doesn't believe me. You don't need to stand here and mediate a back and forth as if we're going to agree. I'd just like her to stop talking to me and leave me in peace. I'm feeling extremely harassed." "Yeah, I get that. It's just that I can't know for sure if you're blind, so she might have a valid point." "What? That applies to every blind person. How can anyone prove that? If she has no reasons for me lying, then shouldn't you just give me the benefit of the doubt?" I don't know. She said her cousin is blind. She probably knows something about it." I then paused for a second. Wow, I'm not even going to bother. Look, if you're not going to get her away from me, then I'm just going to leave. Thanks for failing to protect a disabled patron. I stood up to leave, my dog getting up to guide me. I took a few steps and suddenly felt someone grab hold of my harness handle tightly and pull me to a stop. "Wait! I said I wanted you to let my daughter pet the dog. Then you can leave." "No! Get off my harness! Get off!" Now understand, grabbing my harness is akin to someone taking away your eyes. She was impeding my means of navigation, so I panicked. This has only happened to me once before. It's outlined in one of my posts, and I panicked then too. I attempted to pull my harness handle back, all the while screaming, "Get off! Let go! Help!" And her screaming in my ear about, actually I wasn't exactly listening as I was too busy screaming. But I assume it had something to do with her daughter. The security guard was fumbling around fairly uselessly. Eventually, another security guard hurried over. I heard him bark out, "What's going on?" "She's taking my guide dog! Help me! She won't let go!" "No, she's supposed to let my daughter pet her dog. He said so." I assume she pointed to the guard. The guard didn't respond, but the way the conversation went, it seemed like he non-verbally indicated that he hadn't said that. "Miss, let go of the lady's dog right now or I'll escort you out." "No, she's not blind. The dog isn't real. Don't just jump in and assume you know what's going on." I had calmed slightly so I could speak in a more coherent manner. "Please just get her off me. I want to leave. I don't feel safe. Let me leave." "Hey, you're all right, miss. Everything's gonna be fine." I then felt the woman's hand being forcibly removed from the harness handle. As soon as I was free, I immediately commanded Gumbo to lead me to the exit. We walked quickly. I heard the woman screeching loudly behind me, the man shouting, "Calm down, just stop screaming." I was still somewhat panicked, but I was able to calm myself down as I hurried towards the exit. It was so chaotic, I very nearly forgot my shopping where I left it at customer services, because I didn't want to have it around me in the food court where it could be snatched. I left, called a taxi, and came home. It has really stuck with me for the last couple days, but the worst part is that these types of interactions are an almost daily occurrence. Blind people are the targets of constant harassment in public. This woman just went farther by physically assaulting me. I know I could have and should have gotten her arrested, but honestly, I was just so panicked. I wanted out of the situation ASAP. So, why am I telling this story? In short, spreading awareness. It's important for people to know more about the blind experience and what blind people have to deal with. It's also super important to say if you're ever a witness to a situation like I just described, intervene. Had that second guard not intervened for me, the situation would have been a lot worse. So I'd appreciate any upvotes on this post to help spread more awareness. And I didn't even get to finish my fries. Wow, I posted this, went to bed, and woke up with 3,500 upvotes. That's nuts. Thanks so much for making this story reach so many people and helping more people understand the blind experience. Internet cookies for all of you. This is John from /Bash. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, then this is the time to subscribe. I would love for you to drop a like, share it with your friends, and I will see you in the next one.